We are in eclipse season. We have two eclipses happening for during this month of March. So if you want to find out more about what to expect and what does this mean, this eclipse season, then you want to stick around. Cura, 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 corazón. Cura, cura, cura. Namaste, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Blooming Lotus Healing Channel. My name is Jikara, and I'm a spiritual healing facilitator. And today, I am going to share with you some important information in regards to eclipse season. What does this mean for you? And I will be also sharing every sun sign. I'm going to be pulling a card for guidance for you. So, welcome everyone. So happy and so grateful to be here with everyone. And let me know in the comments, where are you tuning in from? And I'd love to know if you are feeling the energies of the eclipse already. We have a lot going on this week, specifically because we do have the full moon on Friday, and then we also have Mercury coming into a storm. So, based on the energy of this week, we definitely want to make sure that we are just grounding as much as possible. Try not to do too much of signing any contracts or anything like that when it comes down to doing something new or starting a new project. This is not the time because we are entering that energy of Mercury retrograde, which we will be officially in Mercury retrograde on Friday. So I want to make sure that I wanted to share that with you. So this is your first time here. I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for your presence, and make sure that you hit that bell button so that so that you can get notified and know when I go live next. I want to invite you also to share and like this video if you feel like it brings any value to you. I would love for you to come forth and share and like this video to support this channel. I also want to invite you to go over to my sister channel here on YouTube. My sister channel is called the Akashic Records channel. The Akashic Records channel. I am sharing on this channel clearings, collective clearings, as well as guided meditations. We have original meditation music as well. So I'd love for you to go over to my sister YouTube channel and search it as at the at sign, the Akashic Records channel, at the Akashic Records channel, so that you can receive clearings. I will be posting a lunar eclipse, a lunar and solar eclipse, or solar eclipse support as well. So it's basically just eclipses in general support for any eclipse season. I will be posting that this week, so you want to make sure that you check that out as well. So let's go ahead and share with you really quickly a little bit of the Akashic Records channel. You get to listen to this if you're listening to this on the podcast. And if you're watching, then you get to watch what we get to offer here at the Akashic Records channel, our sister channel. I want to invite you to go over to the description below. I have a link for you to sign up for a membership. It's a membership for $9.99. So $9 for $9.99. You get access to all of the exclusive access first to the videos that we're going to post on the YouTube channel at the Akashic Records channel. And you also get access to all of the videos ad free, because I know that with YouTube there's ads. So then if you want access to them ad free, then you want to support the channel as we continue to expand and evolve and continue to bring forth the beautiful original music which a musician is creating for us here. We have original videos that are being created by a beautiful video editing and person that I hired, and we're also supporting them and putting them through school so they can live their dreams. So I'm so excited and so grateful that I get to support people in this way. And so if you want to continue to support this and you believe in leaving, giving people opportunity to live their dreams and live in alignment with what they're meant to be doing, and they're good at what they're doing, then make sure that you sign up for this beautiful opportunity to support the channel. And so to run the channel, it costs a lot of money, and so the what your contribution is forever appreciated. Also, another thing that I wanted to mention too, if you want to donate towards that channel, towards at the Akashic Records channel, then feel free to reach out to me at hello@thebloominglotushealing.com, hello@thebloominglotushealing.com, if you would like to become a patron for the channel and donate to continue the support towards this beautiful service that we're doing for the world. Okay, so let's talk about eclipse season. Oh my goodness. So let's go back to what I was mentioning earlier, right? So we're this Mercury right now, it's entering a storm, like I was mentioning, and it's starting to slow down right now. So if you want to start any projects right now, is not favorable. So just keep that in mind. Things might be a little bit slower. You might have some delays. So you want to make sure, and then there could be some miscommunication. So this week is probably not the best time for you to start anything new. Now, if you've already started something new prior to this, then definitely continue to take action forward during this time. It's also a good time right now to kind of avoid signing any contracts, like I mentioned earlier as well, just because this is an energy that can bring a lot of misunderstandings and miscommunication. So this is not a good time to do that. Also, it's a good time to make sure that everything technology wise is up to par, and so the technology, including our cars, anything that has to do with your computer or your phone, anything that has to do with that, you want to make sure that you keep an eye on that. And like I've been mentioning, make sure that you're doing some preventative work so that nothing breaks down during this time. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention here is that we have the lunar eclipse happening on Friday the 14th. So we have the lunar eclipse happening in the full moon in Virgo. So we have full moon in Virgo and Mercury retrograde, all of it happening the same day on Friday the 14th. Okay. Now, I want to invite you to really think about, for specifically for this eclipse, for the lunar eclipse that we have happening on this day. There are a couple of things that I wanted to mention that to pay attention to as a collectively, right? For all of us, we are going to be in this specific energy, which is all about self improvement. We may be called to do a little bit more organization or healing around releasing any perfectionism during this time, especially for the full moon in Virgo. You may find yourself wanting to do some more detailed work during this time. But remember that the full moon is all about release. So, what is it about your life that doesn't feel organized at this time? This is sort of like the energy that you're going to be really dealing with. And so, in combination with Mercury in retrograde as well, if you are coming into an understanding that there's some aspect of your life that is disorganized, you may find yourself in a place of having situations where there could be possibly miscommunication or conflict. So you want to make sure that you're very mindful of how you're feeling, that you're very grounded, that you're approaching everything with a grain of salt, that you're giving yourself permission to and space to feel whatever it is that you're feeling, especially because we are going to be in the heightened energy of the full moon. And so for those of us who are very sensitive, you might feel overwhelmed and also feel anxious around this full moon. So you want to make sure that you give yourself permission to let go of any perfectionism. Perfectionism can create anxiety. And so you want to make sure that you let go of anything that has to do with wanting to make sure that everything is perfect, and just, like basically letting go of any aspect of yourself that feels that if something doesn't go the specific way that you thought, that you want to make sure that you stay living in the present moment, and give yourself permission to be a little messy, right? Just give yourself a little bit of messiness. It's okay. All right. Also, anything that has to do with your health and well-being, if you've been struggling with your health for the past week, or leading up to this eclipse in this Friday, then just keep in mind that you want to make sure that you care for yourself, pay attention to these parts of you that are coming up, that are letting you know that you need to pay attention to. This is the energy of the full moon in Virgo. It wants to bring forth anything physical, anything regarding your well-being that needs attention. So you want to pay attention to that. Okay. You also want to think about, maybe if there's an opportunity for you to break an unhealthy habit, this is a really great full moon to set that intention for. So if you wanted to let go of that aspect, then you want to make sure that you use this full moon's energy to release that. Also, any habits or routines that you kind of realize and notice that are no longer serving you at this time, this is a perfect full moon for that as well. Now, one thing that I wanted to mention as well is that this is a full moon that may call you into service. You may feel like there's certain things that may have been holding you back from being of service, to whether it is to your family, whether it is to your community, and you may have been called to be more of service to those around you. And so what is holding you back at this time, right? Like what are the parts of you that you feel that, you know what, maybe it's time for me to let go of this fear, right? Or of this aspect of myself that is keeping me from being in that full expression of being of service to my family, to my community, to myself, right? To being in service to the world in general. And so looking at those aspects and letting those go during this full moon will be a really great time. Now, remember, we have the lunar eclipse, and the lunar eclipse, what it does is that it can create a lot more intensity in these aspects that I'm mentioning. So if you are maybe getting sick, or maybe you're feeling sort of like overwhelmed or anxious and feeling just like the intensity is up there, I just want to normalize this for you. It's normal, especially for those of us who are very, very sensitive. We want to make sure that we're using all of our tools to help us ground and help us stay in the present moment, and not get caught up in the messiness of it. Because remember, we're not only dealing with the eclipse, we're also dealing with Mercury retrograde. So that is a combination that can potentially bring, again, like I mentioned, a lot of conflict. So be very mindful, thread with caution during this week, and be mindful and give yourself an opportunity to just love yourself and love those around you. Be compassionate with yourself, be compassionate with others, and then everything will be okay. All right. Now, this is the time that truths are going to be revealed to you, right? So you may have these moments where you notice that you're overanalyzing things, right? You may notice that you might be overthinking, or overdoing things, because you're kind of stuck in this place of perfectionism. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to that. This may be revealed more to you this week. You may become more aware of this week. And this is not for the sake of, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. It's coming up to the light so that you can see this and then start modifying those behaviors. That's the purpose of these energies, is for us to start seeing this. Or maybe someone else might reflect it back to you. Maybe someone might point it out to you, and then you can come into that agreement within yourself and say, okay, maybe it's time for me to modify this behavior, right? And again, the full moon in Virgo will support you with that. Now, later on this month, we're going to have the solar eclipse, and that is going to happen. The solar eclipse is going to happen on Saturday, the 29th of March. Okay. We're still going to be in the Mercury retrograde energy. Okay. So just so you know, that Mercury retrograde is going to be still present. And then we also are in Venus retrograde. And that's another aspect that we want to pay attention to as well, because Venus retrograde is also affecting our relationships and the way we relate to others, whether it is work relationships, whether it is our relationship with our family, or even ourselves. Hence the reason why I did the clearing. If you want to listen to that clearing that I did on, I believe it was last week or the week prior. Just go back into my channel here on YouTube and then listen to that clearing. I'll try to put it down here on the description after I'm done with this live. If I remember, if I don't, please go to my channel and just look up the Venus retrograde clearing and then listen to that. That will support you also throughout this month. Okay. Now, going back to March 29th, we are going to have our solar eclipse and we're going to be in the new moon in Aries. So we're going to have that new moon, very fiery new moon. And remember, we have Venus retrograde in Aries as well. So we have a lot of a fiery energy that day that's going to come up, and you might find yourself wanting to start things or in a very just bullish way, right? You might want to you might connect more with your energy of courage. You might connect more with this essence of wanting to start things now and do it now. But remember, we have Mercury retrograde, so be mindful of what you're going to try to start during this new one. This is not the time to really do too much that is new. Maybe letting go of things, yes. Maybe taking the time to reflect, yes. But this is not the time for you to start something new. This new moon is probably a good new moon for visualization, for maybe setting intentions, for maybe feeling into what you want to do, but maybe not takes any action at this time. It's a new moon to kind of be more reflective and be more a little bit more passive, right? And but the energy of Aries is really going to want to make you take action right away. But just know that you might be able to get things started, but things might get a little wonky at the beginning. So if you don't want to have that wonky energy at the beginning, you might want to just use that fiery energy, kind of keep it safe in your intentions, to put it in your intentions, so that when you go and take action later on, it's charged with that energy, right? And so, okay, so with the solar eclipse, right, we have this bold new beginning sort of energy that is coming in. We want to connect with our sense of self-confidence. We want to think about ourselves as leaders of our lives. We want to think about how can we step more into leadership roles, whether it is at work, whether it is applying for that leadership role job, or whether it is setting an intention to kickstart your business, or whatever that will put you in that leadership role where you're the one in charge, right? This is a really great energy to kind of connect to, because this is going to give you the energy that will catapult you to where you want to be, right? This is also an opportunity for you to rediscover that inner warrior, giving yourself permission to say, I've been living in fear because of X, Y, and Z, noticing where you've been living in fear, and then moving into a place of acceptance of that fear, letting go of that and stepping into that courage. And you may feel like you're letting go of a lot of fear. You may come into an understanding that these fears are holding you back, and you may just rip it off like a band-aid, and then realize that you don't need to live in that fear anymore, right? And so rediscovering that inner warrior is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for you to rediscover that, right, during that time. And again, like letting go of fear will be part of that. So we also want to think about, how can we be in this place of self-expression and independence? How can you bring more independence into your life? Where have you been operating from a place of codependence, right? How can you bring more independence and more leadership, right, into your everyday life, and not following the status quo? Not, have you been holding yourself back from doing what you want to do because you want to follow others, right? And so reflect on that. Reflect on where in your life you've been wanting to change that, where you've been maybe conditioned to do what is expected of you around you, because that's what you are used to. That's how the family does it. That's how we've always done it. This is the way, those conversations about, oh, this is how we've always done it. Maybe start thinking about, well, this is how we've always done it, but is this right for me? This is a really great opportunity for you to look at that and see where you want to move forward. Again, we have that new moon energy. So that new moon energy is all about setting those intentions. So think about, this is a really great time for reflection, okay, for journaling, for meditation, for you to think about where you want to take action, and maybe park that fire energy, like I mentioned, for later on in April. So those are the things that I wanted to mention in regards to the lunar eclipses, the lunar and the solar eclipse, or the eclipse season. And if you want to receive a guidance for specifically for your sun sign, then you want to stick around, because I'm going to be pulling some cards for each sun sign, and see what is the general message for you, right? Like if something doesn't resonate for you, maybe sit with it and reflect on it. It might not activate right away, but you might want to think about how you can look at that. So I see here, Nicole says that she is feeling heavy. She's been feeling heavy. She's been noticing feelings of fear at the core. Past lives, yes. Okay. Yes, I was not kidding, Nicole, about Neptune and Aries was giving you work. Yes, absolutely. Yes, you want to let go of the fear. Absolutely. So this is the time for us to work through that fear, right? So whatever you can do, whether it is through breath work, whether it is through conscious past life regression, hypnosis, or even you can come to me and we can set a session if you need support, if you're dealing with a lot of fear, and the clearings, the collective clearings are not supporting you fully, and you're still feeling like there's some sticky energy, then there may be some things that are specific to you that we need to clear in your records. So you want to make sure that you go, whether you know how to go into your records or not. If you know how to go into your records and clear the energy, then I would recommend that you go there, clear those past lives, clear those karmic programs, and then move into that energy um, of release and freedom, right? And so let's go ahead and get started with the readings. All right, so we have the sign of Aries. We have the sign of Aries. Sun signs. Today is sun signs. Sounds good. Okay, let me know how you feel after, Nicole. Okay. Thank you for participating. Make sure that you like and share this video if you feel like this is bringing value to you. I'm going to be pulling from the Spirit of Psilocybin today, Spirit of Psilocybin Oracle deck. This is my Oracle deck that I created. I'm going to be pulling from there. And I actually, this time, I will be using my astrology deck. I've missed it. So I have an astrology deck. I'm going to be pulling from there. And then my Spirit of Psilocybin Oracle deck, okay? So Spirit, for those who are of the sign of Aries, what is the message for them? Can you show me what is the message for them in regards to this? Okay, so we have the Cosmic Mother card or the Mother card, and we have the card of the journey for you, and we have the North Node card. I want to invite you to look at your North Node, dear Aries. Where is your North Node at this time? And you want to make sure that you look at your South Node as well. Where are you leaning into naturally, and where are you meant to be going forward? You want to make sure that you look at that, because this is a time for you to move forward and to leave behind some things that are no longer serving you, right? And we have the card of the Cosmic Mother, which this specific card calls upon the womb energy and connecting with the womb. So a lot of times when we're looking at the womb energy, we are also connecting to our mothers when we are in the womb. So maybe doing some work on release in regards to fear that we may have acquired while we were in the womb that wasn't ours, right? Sometimes we connect with certain aspects of our experience that are not really ours. We're experiencing it, but we don't even realize that it's not ours, and then we kind of internalize this, and then we have this at the very core of ourselves. So want to make sure that you really give yourself permission to work with the womb energy, specifically with your mother's womb, right? So not only connecting to your womb, right? And this is doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, right? Like the womb energy, we all come from the womb. Okay. So we are all connected to the womb, whether we're a man or a woman. Okay. This has nothing to do with your sex. It has to do, or your gender. It has to do energetically with where we came from, the womb. What was the state of the womb? What was the state of our mothers while they were holding us, right? So you want to make sure that you connect to that and heal that aspect of yourself that you may be holding on to that is not yours in the first place. We also have the card of the journey, which tells me that you may feel like you're kind of alone in this. Like you've been feeling like this sort of feels like a lonely path. Like I'm doing all this work by myself, and I'm being guided to tell you to connect with your emotional body, connect with your emotions, connect with the aspects of yourself that are in the subconscious. So things that are related to hypnosis or past life regression or anything that has to do with the Akashic Records, anything that has to do with the shadows. That's where you want to kind of work at this time, and release that energy of feeling alone or feeling lonely or feeling like you're lost or feeling like you don't know what path to take. This is something that you need to kind of address by going into your emotional body and releasing all of this. Okay. But remember, you want to first start with setting those intentions with releasing anything that you have acquired while you were in the womb. Okay. That is what I have for you, dear Aries. We're moving on to Taurus. Taurus. Hi, Amy. So happy to see you, love. Welcome. So I'm going live also on Facebook. For those of you who are here watching on Facebook, feel free to post. I can see your messages. I can see when you're posting from Facebook or from YouTube. So, all right. So we're going into Taurus. Taurus sun signs. What's the message for Taurus sun sign? Thank you, Spirit. Dear Taurus, we have the card of light medicine and the card of visions for you. And we have the card of the fixed signs card. Okay, so in regards to this reading, dear Taurus, what I'm seeing here for you specifically is that you're being invited to connect more with the things that bring you joy. So during this season, right, you might have certain aspects that might show up that don't make you feel very happy. And so you want to make sure that you connect to those, that you shift and you flip the script with leaning into the things that bring you joy. So the more you do that, the more you'll able to move the energy. You may feel like there's sort of like this persistence that you're going to have to practice while you're doing this. You're being invited to really lean in to that stable energy that is naturally yours, right? And try to stabilize yourself with the things again that bring you joy. You may also have an opportunity to connect with your sense of your third eye. So you may find yourself having prophetic dreams, or you may find yourself having dreams that are kind of odd or different. I would invite you to pay attention to those dreams because you may be releasing certain things at the subconscious level. You are also being invited to connect with your crown and your third eye. So I'm seeing that your third eye or your crown are going to be very active during this time. Bring in that light energy into your being. So when you meditate, when you connect with yourself, make sure that you're bringing in that light energy so that you can cleanse that energy. Literally visualize the light coming through and moving through each one of your chakras, but specifically recognize that as you get your third eye and your crown chakras activated, you want to pay attention to those messages. Do not ignore the guidance that you're getting from your spirit guides and your higher self. This guidance is there because you are being guided towards the things that you need to release, and towards the things that are going to bring you more of that joy. Okay. Thank you, Nicole. No worries. You're very welcome, Nicole. Okay, so moving on to Moving on to our next sign, which is going to be our sign of Gemini. So this is for Gemini sun signs. Gemini sun signs. This message is for you. All right. What's the message for Gemini spirit? All right. So we have for Geminis. Dear Gemini, we have the card of the curandero, curandera, cosmic father card, and we have the opposition card for you. Okay. In regards to this reading here, dear Gemini, what I'm seeing for you is that you may experience during this season of eclipse and all of this stuff that I talked about, you may experience a little bit of imbalance. You may have some tensions, some conflict. You may struggle, right, when it comes down to either a father figure or those who represent father in your life, or who could potentially be part of your experience that makes you feel that masculine energy. It could even be a masculine someone who has masculine energy, or it could be a man in general. So you may find yourself in this moment of tension or struggle or power struggle between you and this person. And again, this person could potentially be your actual father, or it could be someone who represents father, or it could be someone who is triggering the energies of father. Okay. And you're being invited to heal this aspect of yourself, dear Gemini. So, what aspect of yourself is still holding on to pain and suffering that you've acquired as you were growing up and your relationship with your father? Right. So, you want to really pay attention to this. This is the time for you to heal this, right? Like this is going to be revealed to you, dear Gemini. So, this is an opportunity. Do not let this be another time for you to react. Make sure that you're acting, that you're approaching this with conscious awareness. Of course, you're going to feel the feelings, dear Gemini. Allow yourself to feel the feelings. Normalize these feelings for yourself. Do not push them away, dear Gemini. Give yourself permission to heal them by taking any action that will help you with that, whether that is holding space for yourself, whether that is going to a therapist, whatever it is that you need to do to get yourself in a place of healing that relationship with father or father energy, father figure, or masculine energy in your life. Okay, that's what I have for you. Hi, Chaley. So happy you're here. Welcome. I have my fan from YouTube here. I love it. So happy to have you. Okay, moving on to Cancer. Moving on to Cancer. All right. So what's the message for Cancer during this week? Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Spirit. Dear Cancer, we have the card of inertia, the card of maize or corn, and we have the card of the North Node for you. So, dear Cancer, the message here is resistance. You may experience some resistance when it comes down to moving forward, to actually moving towards the things that support you and help you and bring more abundance and joy into your life. You may be experiencing a little bit of that resistance because you feel like you don't want to change the status quo. You may be feeling like things are not meant to change at this time. And you're being invited, dear Cancer, to think a little bit differently. You want to really start thinking about how you can start moving into that change, because this is what you're meant to do. This is the calling from your soul. This is where you're meant to be going. Right. And that resistance is not going to help you. It's actually going to make it more difficult for you. You're going to suffer in that journey of resisting the change and the shift. Things are shifting because they're meant to shift forward for you, dear Cancer. So if you want to bring more abundance of that divine light in your life, of that divine experience, whether it is in your relationships, in your finances, in your job. If you want that abundance, that prosperity, you need to let go of the old ways of being, and you want to stay in a place of allowing the new ways. There is going to be a little bit of fear, right? Because that resistance really is fear masked as resistance. There's a little bit of fear in regards to what is going to happen. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what's going to happen if I let go of this old way of being. But you are being invited to enter into this place. Imagine like the card of the fool, right? There's this excitement and this curiosity. So you can shift the script, dear Cancer, from a place of fear into a place of excitement and curiosity. So that's the intention here, and the calling for you at this time, dear Cancer. So moving on to our beautiful Leos. Yeah, it's been a while, and I'm back, girl. I'm coming back live. I know that I took time. I took time off because I was a little sick for about last year, so I needed to take care of myself. And now I'm back. I'm back in the track. Okay, so we have Leos. What's the message for Leo, Spirit? For Leos, we have the card of ceremony, reciprocity, and we have the card of fire for you. Dear Leo, so what I see here is that you're being invited to, first of all, create ritual or ceremony or space. The ceremony card represents creating sacred space, creating a place for you to heal, for you to allow, for you to feel, for you to reflect, for you to sense, for you to expand. This is the opportunity for you, or the calling for you, to create sacred space. This is not the time to go and fire things forward into the world. This is a time to take that fire and put it within yourself, dear Leo. This fire is meant to alchemize. When we are talking about sacred space and ceremony and ritual for ourselves, it's a calling to alchemy. It's a calling to go within. It's a calling to reflect. It's a calling to take action, but take an action towards ourselves, towards what we need to nourish ourselves. You are naturally a fire sign, dear Leo. So what that tells me is that you're being called to take that fire energy that you put out so much and take that within, take that medicine and put it back to yourself, right? And how can you feed more of that confidence? How can you feed more of that optimism in your life? How can you feed more of that passion and that bravery for yourself? Instead of putting it out there for others, first is within. You're also being guided to think about your relationships. How are they out of balance? How are you feeling in your current relationships? Do you feel like you're giving more that you're receiving? Then pay attention to that. Pay attention to the reciprocity in your relationships. How can you rebalance that at this time? During this time with Venus in retrograde, Mercury retrograde, we have Neptune as well, entering into Aries. We have a lot of energy right now that is brewing for you, dear Leo, and you may come into an understanding now, finally, that things need to change, and then you're going to be invited to start changing, to use that fire towards that change, towards that alchemy, so that you can start seeing your life in a different place. Remember, we are in this year is all about changing things completely, right? You're not meant to live the life that you've had in the past 14 years. The past 14 years are gone. You're going into the new you, right? And so think about what is coming up for you right now, and the things that are ready to let go. This is why. So don't hold back in again, putting that medicine back to yourself. And what I mean by medicine, it means that your magic, that magic that you share with others, that aspect of yourself that people love so much about you, that you give so freely and so lovingly, that you need to give yourself that at this time. And you need to ask for it as well. Ask for it back. You deserve for things to be equal in your relationships, dear Leo. Okay. So we're moving on to Virgo. Moving on to Virgo. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. I'm so sorry, my love. I'm so sorry that you're in discomfort. I will definitely stick around for that. Thank you, Shaylee. Hi, Fabrice. Welcome, everyone. So happy that the fam is here. I love when you guys are online with me. That's beautiful. Okay, so we got Virgos. Okay, Virgos. Thank you. What's the message for Virgo? Virgo, we have the card of visions for you. We got grandfather fire for you, and we got the card of Aries for you, dear Virgo. So, what I'm seeing here is that you are being invited to really connect to this energy of fire that is available for you during this time, especially during the season. You may have certain understandings that come up in your mind, maybe some guidance that come up during this time that is guiding you to kind of take some action forward. You may be in this place of wanting to start something new. Remember, we do have the Mercury retrograde, and we have that the season of the eclipse. So be mindful of how you take these actions forward. But just know, I want to invite you to park that energy, like what the energy that you're feeling right now, dear Virgo. You want to make sure that you park it and that you really brew it, like literally, like imagine like you're stewing it in like this stew that you're making, slowly cooking something, because it's gonna have so much flavor, right? That's what I want to invite you to do during this time, because you have that really that like great opportunity to really infuse all of this energy into a very powerful start moving forward after all of the seasons, all of this stuff happens. You're gonna have this like opportunity to really make things happen. Like I'm hearing even making dreams happen, like all these visions, these dreams that you want to ground. Like this is the time for you to allow this fiery energy to brew it and make it more powerful, right? Like you'll be able to kind of make it happen so quickly after Mercury goes back to its normal course. And then this is a time for you to really nourish yourself with that fire energy, nourish yourself with something that brings you passion, brew in that passionate energy, brew in that courageous energy, brew in that opportunity to just alchemize. And again, you're seeing clearly where you're meant to be going, and you're excited. I see this beautiful excitement coming through for you. And so I'm excited for you. And I hope that you're excited as well. Just be mindful of the energies. Don't let this energy during this time be an expression of what you, of or be, or like lie to you. Don't let this energy lie to you because this energy that we're in right now is not the truth. The truth is going to come out afterwards. So that's why I was mentioning to brew in that energy, and don't take any action as of yet with any new projects. Give yourself permission to do it after Mercury goes back direct, because I'm telling you, once you do that, it's going to be so potent. So it's basically just brew with this fire energy for a little bit, okay? And let those visions come through. Let those dreams be part of your experience at this time, like bask in them, and yeah, this is exciting for you, dear Virgo. Okay, moving on to Libra. Absolutely, Amy. Absolutely. Holding space for our discomfort is, it's a beautiful thing. It is it's the form of self-care, the form of self-care, and I'm so happy that you're doing that. All right, Libras. What is the message for Libra, dear spirit? What's the message for Libra? All right. I'm seeing a lot of you being in general for all signs. I'm seeing a lot of you being activated on the third eye and crown. So there's a lot of activations happening at the third eye and crown for all signs. Okay, so we got grandfather fire. I'm sorry, grandfather air. We got visions card. Again, you're being super activated on your third eye and your crown, and we have the sun card, dear Libra. Okay, so first of all, your main medicine, which is your air medicine, is very active for you at this time. So throat chakra, connecting to song, connecting to music is something that you really want to lean into during this time, and making sure that you're leaning into your communications from a place of joy. That is who you are. Like you're just air, right? Like that's just your the aspect of who you are. And just keep in mind that of course we have the wonky energy of Mercury retrograde, but lean into that air energy because we need that. You basically are, because you're the embodiment of that expression of balanced throat chakra. You're that expression. If you're in that beautiful balanced place, it's important that you are in that embodiment. Like you're being invited to be in that embodiment of that beautiful balanced being that you are. Okay, you're also being invited to make sure that you continue to say your truth, right? you I'm seeing a lot of third eye, and so I'm seeing a lot of channeling for you. So you may be in this place of being able to channel certain information or certain things. Like I feel like you're like your third eye and your crown are activated, but then the throat is activated. So I feel like you're going to be channeling some things during this time. Okay, and this is going to be important, but just be mindful, right, that you're grounded. I feel like you're going to be bringing a lot of truth for people during this time, a lot of support during this time. If you're someone who is a reader or a healer, you're going to be supporting people in a very powerful way. If you are in that, if not, then just being someone who can connect directly and have this direct connection and this clear channel, you're going to be serving a lot of people and supporting people, especially during the season, in that way. So just being in the embodiment of who you are. You don't have to do anything, but just being yourself, and just speaking in the way that you usually do. I'm being shown the heart and the rose, so just really connecting to your heart. And the rose energy is all about that sacred feminine, that sacred energy of the softness and compassion. So make sure that as you are connecting with your throat chakra and channeling the information, that you are filtering everything through your heart, dear Libra, because we need to make sure that we're bringing more of that compassion and that energy. That is in itself very healing for everyone. So I want to invite you to even visualize this, like even visualize when you are connecting to your throat chakra, like visualize this beautiful pink, soft pink light coming from above, and let it travel through your throat and then go down to your heart. Let your heart filter it and allow it to go back up to your throat, and let that be the expression. Okay, I'm seeing a lot like just singing as well. Just humming and singing is going to be very healing for you and for those around you. So sing away, dear Libra. Yeah, so that's what I have here for you. Now we have Scorpios. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Is this for Scorpios? Yes. Okay, thank you. Scorpios, we have the card of the cardinal signs, we have the card of maize, corn, and we have the card of spirit animals. For you, dear Scorpio, what I'm seeing here is that, first of all, you have a huge activation in your abundance that is happening right now. You may find yourself in this place of maybe even this forgetting that you're divinely abundant, right? So you're being invited to think about how abundant you are and to see this abundance in your life, which is present for you at this time, dear Scorpio. I also see here that you're being invited to lean into your allies, to your friends, to those people who are in your on your side, who want to protect you as well, who want to support you. This could also even be, we can take it even further into connecting with your spirit animals. Maybe you've been connecting to certain animals while you go out, maybe down the road, and you're walking down the street, and maybe you see an animal and you keep seeing this animal over and over again. You might want to pay attention, dear Scorpio, because you might have a spirit animal that wants to come forth and bring medicine to you, bring a message of medicine. So pay attention to those, to those interactions, because those repetitive interactions are there for a reason. You're also being invited to really think about how you can connect with a sense of bravery, right? Letting go of any fears that you may have had during this time that are disconnecting you from a sense of feeling balanced and empowered. Okay, you are also being invited to see, where are you able to be the one that takes leadership in certain aspects, or even like, how can you start pioneering, how can you start, seeing yourself with these incredible and beautiful ideas that may be coming and may be coming alive for you. And you might be thinking, well, I'm not, nobody's doing this, like, why should I do it? If it's coming to you, dear Scorpios, because you're meant to be bringing it into existence, right? And so don't think about too much about, oh, well, do I have the capital, do I, just think about, how can I attract the things that I need, the resources that I need, so that I can make this happen. I'm hearing business ideas. I'm hearing yeah, business ideas may be coming online for you, and you may be thinking about limiting limitations instead of opportunities. So I want to invite you to start thinking about opportunities in regards to this. Okay. I'm also seeing here sort of like some energy in regards to blood family. So in regards to specifically to your blood family or your family tree, you may see some energy that is not helpful, or maybe some energy that it's that's sort of instigating some negativity, or maybe not even supporting you in that way. And so I want to invite you to really think about, again, going back to the spirit guides card, or spirit animals card. Think about, who are your allies, and lean into those people. You may not be able to lean in to certain family members, because they don't understand what you're doing and where you're going, and that's okay. You don't have to necessarily lean into a family for certain endeavors that you may go into. So I want to invite you, dear Scorpio, to see yourself as this beautiful leader. See yourself in this beautiful abundant light, and I'm telling you, you will get where you need to go. Remember that we do have that Mercury in retrograde right now that is happening, and we're already in that energy right now. And so just keep in mind that all of this energy of that you're being invited to kind of start, right, is important to kind of start it after the retrograde is done. So maybe give yourself permission to just continue to accumulate those visions and those ideas, and then take action and think about, and then maybe this is the time for you to put a plan of action, right? Like, what is the plan of action? This is a really great time to share that with yourself, and to put it together, so that you can go out and take action later. Okay. We got Sagittarius. Beautiful Sagittarius. What do we have in store for you? Let's take a look. What's the message for Sagittarius, Spirit? Thank you, Spirit. Sagittarius, we have the shifting, the card of crossroads, and we have the card of house 3. So what I see here, dear Sagittarius, is that you're being invited to start allowing yourself to be a little bit more flexible, to kind of shape shift into the different aspects of who you are meant to be. So meaning that you may have to wear different hats at the same time, and that could potentially be a little bit overwhelming at times, and you may feel like you have to make constant decisions of who you're meant to be expressing. Like, am I meant to be wearing this hat now or like this later? Like, is this even who am I? I feel like that's the message here, is like, who am I? And so the message here in regards to this specifically for you, dear Sagittarius, is that you're being invited to see yourself from a place of just, you're all of those things. You don't have to decide that you're one or the other. You don't have to marry one aspect of yourself. You can be all of those things at the same time. Now, when we have the house 3, which, this is in regards to the third house in your chart, I want to invite you to think about what, first of all, check out your third house and see what is being impacted at this time. If there's anything impacted at this time specifically for you, dear Sagittarius, on your chart, because you might want to clear some energy around that. Specifically, the third house is all about the early learning, maybe childhood relations, anything that has to do with your rational mind or communication, and that's being impacted, right, when it comes down to Mercury retrograde, as well. So just keep in mind that you want to give yourself permission to things get a little messy when it comes down to communications, and don't let that be the end all be all. Just because something is happening right now that it just feels a little wonky doesn't mean that that's the absolute truth. It's just what's happening right now, but that's impermanent. It's not gonna last forever. So you want to make sure that you let go of any aspects of yourself that are holding on to these experiences that may just bring more painful feelings within yourself than necessary. Okay. Now, the interesting thing about this, though, when I see in combination with this third house and the shape shifting, right? Taking that reading of the shape shifting card beyond the just wearing all the hats, but also in combination with the card with the third house, is also understanding that you may need to be the adult and you may need to be the child at certain times. Sometimes you may need to oscillate between these two, and then give yourself permission to do so, right? Because you're both. You're literally both. Just because we're in this meat suit and that our meat suit is getting older doesn't mean that we are not still children inside, right? And that our needs need to be met as well. And so how can you meet those needs at this time, right? How can you communicate more effectively your needs at this time, right? And help others as well. Okay. In that sense, like, how can you even help others communicate their needs while you learn in your own embodiment of communicating your own needs at this time. And the interesting thing about this is that when I look at the crossroad card here, is that you might feel the difficulty of having to decide between one and the other, and you don't have to decide. It's just a matter of, like, just flowing. Just allow yourself to flow from one to another, and be flexible, right? Like, be flexible in this experience. Like, you're not meant to be just one or another. Like, that's the message here. So that's what I have for you, dear Sagittarius. Capricorns. Okay, so I see some messages here. Let's see what people are saying. You have Leo in the third house. Oh, wow, that's powerful. Yes, which hats? Okay. I'm glad it resonated for you, Amy. Shaylee says, I'm not Sagittarius, but I have Mars, Saturn, and Pluto. Oh my God, in your third house. Wow. That's a lot of energy there, girl. I wonder how you felt during that planetary alignment, Shaylee. Very aligned? You're welcome, Amy. I'm glad it resonated for you. I wonder how you felt did you feel anything during the cosmic alignment that happened in January, and then the one that happened in February? I wonder if you felt anything specifically around that house as well. Okay, so we got Capricorn. What are the cards for Capricorn? Thank you, Spirit. Capricorn, we have the card of ancestral for you, intergalactic card, and we have Saturn card for you, dear Capricorn. Capricorn, we are being invited to tell you that you may have been feeling a little restricted, or you've been feeling like you've been put to the test at this time, dear Capricorn, because you've been dealing with situations that are related to family or your family tree. You may have certain aspects of yourself that are being activated through your ancestral lineage, and even experiences that you are feeling like you have to work hard and work so like oh on an uphill battle, and and just things are just going so slow, and it's almost like this dense energy, and you're just like, wow, like what's happening here, and like, can I just get a break, right? Like that's how I feel for you, dear Capricorn. And so what I am seeing here, that just to give you a little bit of light into why this is happening, dear Capricorn, and I think this came up for you in a couple of readings ago as well. The card of ancestral came up for you, dear Capricorn, before. And the reason why, again, this is a friendly reminder, a gentle reminder that there are certain patterns that you are breaking. You are in the embodiment of breaking. You are literally the prayer of your ancestors. You are the answer to their prayers, dear Capricorn. And for that reason, you are going through this journey of releasing. And I want to also shift this perspective for you. Let's shift the script for you, dear Capricorn. How can you lean into the courage and the power and the amazing positive things that your lineage does have? How can you lean into the magic that is? And flipping the script, I think, is going to help you right now, dear Capricorn, because it's been so just heavy at this time, right? Like feeling like you cannot get things where they need to be, like your goals are not, you're not getting to your goals in the way that you want to. You're kind of like struggling, you're just like this experience that just feels so dense that you're like, okay, what's life, right? And so I want to invite you to really lean into that. Now, when we have the intergalactic card here, what that tells me, dear Capricorn, is that you have a lot of support when it comes down to your beautiful intergalactic family. So what I mean by that is not only your spirit team and your ancestors are supporting you, right? You have well ancestors that are there supporting you and cheering you on. You have also a spirit team, but then there's also this other team of intergalactic beings that are supporting you and helping you, and you want to make sure that you pay attention to that. And you may have had certain experiences, maybe during your dreams, or maybe just in general, when you're, maybe if you're doing any healing work yourself, you may have felt like there's these intergalactic beings coming in, and you're like, who are, I don't know you, right? And you're kind of like pushing them back. But I want to invite you to look at them also as ancestors, because remember, dear Capricorn, as I have found in the Akashic Records, is that we have many lifetimes in other planets as well. And we have ancestors from other planets, right, that also support us. So, how can you lean into this other lineage, right, to help you move through this energy a little faster? Right? How can you lean into this support? So remember, ancestors are not only those of our family tree; they're also those who are part of our ancestry in other planets. There's the other flip of the coin here that we can do, is that maybe you've been focusing so much on your terrestrial ancestors that you may need to do some healing around your extraterrestrial ancestors. And so think about what aspects of yourself you need to explore and be curious about, maybe going into your Akashic records and clearing any energies around your ancestral connection with other beings from other planets that are kind of making it a little harder for you right now. And so I'm not saying that this is a definitive, let's say, like, if you don't do this, then things are not going to be fixed. Just, this is just bringing light to it so that you can move through this a little quicker, right? So if you need support there, Capricorn, I'm here. I'm always happy to support you with clearing sessions. You can always go to my website and receive support there. But if you already go to the records yourself, you can clear the energies yourself in that way, or just seek the support with your favorite healer, and seek that support. But just think about these two things. You have the ancestral that are coming from this planet, and then also you want to explore that other ancestral that's coming from other planets as well, that's sort of creating a little bit of restriction there. Okay. So good luck with to you, dear Capricorn. We're moving on to Aquarius. Oh, I'm so sorry, Chaley. Thank you, Chaley. I'm so glad that it helped you. You've been feeling restricted like you're in jail. Oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Thank you, Spirit. So let me see. What is the message for Aquarius? Oh, you mean someone else? Okay. I thought that was for you. Okay. We've got that first card. Thank you, Spirit. What are the cards here that we need to? Thank you. Yes, go back to that info, girl. That your extraterrestrial crew are in the house supporting. Okay, we have the elements card, the reciprocity card, dear Aquarius, and we have the card of Pisces. Okay. Dear Aquarius, we are being invited to tell you that this is a time for you to lean into your intuitive guidance, to your intuition, to the aspects of you that feel very feminine, very receptive. This is the invitation from spirit at this time. Okay. You may even feel activated in this way during this time, especially with the season. But you're also being invited to bring more compassion for yourself and for others. Where are you being too harsh? And sometimes when we're being harsh with others, it means that we're being harsh to ourselves. How can you soften the energy for yourself? How can you be more compassionate and more loving towards yourself, dear Aquarius? We also have the energy of the elements here that are all together. You have everything that you need. This is sort of like the magician card in tarot, right? So the card of the elements is telling you that you have everything that you need within you to make these shifts happen. You may feel like there's like a part of you that's missing. Maybe you didn't receive the support and the compassion throughout your life, even when you were growing up, and you're feeling like you're something that, oh well, I didn't have it, so I don't have it. You do have it. It's inside of you. You gotta connect with all of who you are. You are being initiated right now, dear Aquarius. You're being initiated to your medicine. Okay, what does that mean? It means that you're being initiated to be in the magic of who you are, to not step away anymore from being inauthentic, right? Do not do that anymore. It's time for you to be fully in your authentic expression. And you may have felt like you were being authentic so far, but you still have a little bit more to do. So you're being invited to really step in, fool your true colors, show your full true colors at this time. And you want to make sure that you're doing this with people who are supporting you and are going to be reciprocal in this way, meaning that you want to be around people who are authentic alongside with you, who are compassionate alongside with you, who want that intimacy. Where have you been avoiding intimacy at this time? With those around you, because you may not have felt safe. So you want to make sure that you surround yourself with people who are going to bring that out of you, and you will see so much magic, so much medicine come out. You will see so much alchemy, so much release for you. You are meant to be around others, dear Aquarius. You're meant to be in community, dear Aquarius. Do not step away from these experiences of allowing yourself to be authentically yourself around others. That is very healing for you, dear Aquarius. So give yourself permission to be in that space, because being witnessed in your authentic self is in itself a beautiful medicinal moment for you. Okay. Also, where can you give yourself permission to give a little bit more? Maybe you've been holding back on giving a little bit more in a relationship because you are afraid. You're operating from a place of fear. How can you operate from a place of love? How can you connect to your heart right now, dear Aquarius? Those are the questions I pose to you, right? And then give yourself permission to open your heart. Once you do this, dear Aquarius, oh my gosh, you're going to see so much incredible shift. And this is an opportunity during this time. These cards are coming out during this time, during the season, because these are going to be probably opportunities are going to show up for you during this week, during this lunar and solar eclipse season, right? So I want to invite you to really think about when these opportunities show up. Take them. Take them. take them and make them happen for you. Okay, just be wary of the of Mercury retrograde. I've been telling that to everyone. Just make sure that you're mindful of a little wonkiness in communication. That's normal. Ground as much as you can, and again, bring that sense of compassion, and you will be in this beautiful, loving, and very authentic place, and also not authentic, not only authentic but also empowered place, right? Fully in your medicine. So that's what I have for you, dear Aquarius. We got Pisces. Dear Pisces, let's see what spirit has for you. What the spirit has for you, dear Pisces. What's the message for Pisces spirit? Thank you. Dear Pisces, you have the card of mycelium, the card of light medicine. Then you also have the card of the opposition. And what I see here, dear Pisces, is that you are potentially dealing with a little bit of an imbalance or power struggle or tension when it comes down to between you and those who are part of your community, or maybe even recognizing if you want to be in a community or not, or finding yourself in a place of revisiting the opportunity of being part of a community, right? You're sort of like dealing with certain connection issues at this time. Some things are out of balance when it comes down to your interaction with certain communities. It doesn't feel like you're aligned with these communities anymore, or that you're not feeling as grounded in them. And so you're being invited to lean into where can you find your joy. Reminder of what communities bring you joy, what communities bring you sort of a place of feeling authentically received, right? Where there's no power struggle, where there's like equanimity between everyone, there's equality between everyone, there's no tension, there's sort of like this beautiful flow. You're being invited to think about these communities and lean into those the most. And the ones that are not bringing that joy for you, then you might want to step back a little bit. It doesn't mean that you could step away forever, but these are gonna be probably gonna show up. This is gonna probably gonna show up for you to see if you really are meant to commit to that community or not, if you're meant to be part of this place or not, if you're meant to give your energy as much as you'd like to. Maybe you're not meant to give it right now as much, right? Maybe it's time for you to step into a place of leaning into the places that are receiving you fully, that where you just feel like you can flow and you feel this freedom. That's what you want to do, dear Pisces. Okay, now community is important for you right now, dear Pisces, because this is part of your emotional expression. You're going to be able to really allow your emotional body to just be in this full expression. So think about your emotional body. Where is this expression leaning towards? Is it leaning towards restriction and just heartache, or is it leaning towards joy and excitement and fullness? Where are you existing in the spectrum? And that's how you're going to be able to tell where you are meant to be at this time, dear Pisces. Okay. Now, another thing that I wanted to mention here as we close your reading is that remember that we are dealing with all of these. We're dealing with the retrogrades. We have Venus in retrograde. We have Mercury in retrograde. We're already in the shadow side of it right now. And we have, the change with Neptune. And then we have, so which Neptune is your original planet. So think about all of these changes that are happening right now. This is a time for you to really, really connect and ground with your emotional body. You may have a lot of stuff coming up for you that you need to hold space for. This is a time for you to do so, especially during this eclipse season. So, based on what I'm seeing on these cards for you, dear Pisces, I believe that leaning into those communities that are going to be supportive and loving is going to really help you in your own individual experience as you move through these energies. If you're having to deal externally with all of these other things, with all these people, these communities that you're part of that are not supporting you, then you're gonna have a hard time processing these internal things that you need to process, because then you don't even know where to focus your energy, right? But if you feel safe, you feel supported, then you can focus inward and move through the emotional aspects that are going to be showing up for you during this time, during this season. Okay, so that's what I have for all the signs. Thank you everyone for being here, for just being patient with me. I know that I came in a little later today, so let me know in the comments, what is your sun sign? Let me know in the comments. And also let me know in the comments, how do you like the readings? How are you liking this? Make sure that you like, subscribe, share this video, share if you're on Facebook, share it on your profile. Share it in groups, share everything that you can. This supports the channel. It supports this beautiful channel that we have here. I want to invite you all to go over to my sister channel at on YouTube, my sister channel, which I have clearings there. I have free clearings there at the Akashic Records channel. At the Akashic Records channel is a brand new channel. So if you search it just the Akashic Records channel, it's not going to come up. So you want to search it with the handle. The YouTube handle is at the Akashic Records channel all together. The sign at the Akashic Records channel. There are clearings there that I have. I have a lunar eclipse of solar and lunar eclipse or eclipses support clearing there that is coming up this week. We have so much support for meditation music. We have guided meditations. It's a brand new channel. We are slowly building up the library. Is going to be become a very robust library of clearings for the collective. And if you want to support, because it does cost money to run StreamYard and to run, all of the things, to pay the musician, to pay the video editor and everything. If you want to support and you want to get ad free and have access to the first to the videos before they go up on YouTube, then you can sign up, and there's a link on the description below. You can sign up for the membership program. It's $9.99 a month, less than 33 cents a day, less than a coffee, and you're able to support the channel, and you're able to support the continuous work that we're doing. I'm basically here. I'm not necessarily getting paid for this. I'm doing it for free. But I do need to be able to pay for all these things and continue paying everyone. So if you can support us with that, that would be amazing. But even if you can't do that, just sharing, subscribing, liking, and engaging with the channel, that in itself will be very helpful. So thank you so much, everyone. I want to invite you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel here. And I also want to invite you to like and share. Again, like and share this video. And thank you, everyone. I love you all. Namaste.